Hey, everybody.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, welcome to BankSocial Sessions. We are live. Got Donald, Justin, Catherine, John, and John, where are you? Are you? I see glass on top of you.
I hear a very much of an echo.
Do you
Am
guys
I the
hear an
only one
echo?
hearing it?
I'm fine.
Somebody's room is maybe echoing.
Um, I'm not sure. I don't hear an echo on my end.
Okay, I don't hear it anymore.
Okay,
Was it you,
perfect.
Justin? All right. I am in, so I won't say where I'll say where I'm at. So I'm in Austin, Texas. I have a very cool view right now. Can y'all see that?
Amazing. It's
Yep.
beautiful.
So we're at a really big partner event that's going to turn into some really cool things for the bank social ecosystem, and so excited to be down here and finalizing some cool deals and some big deals. So I just stepped out onto the little balcony they have here, but there's the office building that we're at, and yeah, just stepped out for the bank social session so that we can talk to the community about some of the cool announcements we had this week.
Love it. Well, I love that you is that hill country in front of you kind of on
Yeah,
the
I'm in Austin. We're up here in North. I'm like, I don't know if it's North Austin, but I'm not real familiar with Austin. But yeah, I'm just north of, like, that's downtown Austin right there. So I'm just north of downtown Austin, probably about 20 minutes here at a really large vendor that's they focus on community banks and financial institutions, credit unions, and they're here out of Austin is their home base.
Cool. Well, we have some new people on the call, some familiar faces. Why don't we go around and kind of introduce some of the people from the team that are on here? Um, Donald, let's start with you. I think it's your first time on Bank Social Session.
Yeah, I've been being pressured to join, and I'm finally giving into that pressure. But I guess I've been here maybe 7 months working on, product management strategy with the team. Historically, I spent the last 25 years at the Northern Trust Company here in Chicago. For those who aren't familiar with Northern, 200 billion in deposits, probably 14 trillion of assets under custody and administration. I ran product management and strategy for the banking business, which included both corporate and institutional services and wealth management.
Very cool. Yeah, and Donald, you've been a big part of some of the exciting things that are happening and that we're releasing. I know we'll touch on that later, but yeah, Justin, do you want to kind of reintroduce yourself to the community? Oh, Justin, you might be on mute. I'll kick it to Catherine really quick.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I was here last week, but I'm happy to be here again. My name is Catherine Vaca, and I'm the Director of Sales here at BankSocial. I'm part of the recent CU Books merger. So I'm excited to bring shared services to credit unions across the nation.
Amazing. And Josh, that's a nice segue over to you.
Hello, hello. I'm Josh Cohagen, president of CU Books, the first in the kind of the shared services division here at Bank Social, and excited to be offering those, helping to build and preserve the credit union movement.
Nice. Darlene.
Hi, my name's Darlene Hilton. I am the Director of Client Experience. I'm very excited to be here. And my role is to help between getting the project off the chart and getting it in the CU's hands and delivered.
Beautiful. And John, oh, I'll introduce myself. So Sarah Kadar, Marketing Director, Think Social. I'm really excited to share some updates this week with the community. A few people will be joining a little bit later as well. But I think this is a cool time, John, to kind of kick it to you. We had some really big kind of accolades and announcements that we shared with the community this week that I wanted to kind of let you elaborate on, and maybe some of the team as well, around like the Google AI announcement that we did. And then later we can talk about some of the other White House and FedNow announcements. John, do you want to start with like Google and some
Yeah,
of,
we could start with Google. So I think, oh man, my allergies might start kicking my butt. So excuse me. Um, excuse me. So we, a couple months back, we were out at Google Next in Las Vegas. We've got some more information coming out about that. I think mid-October, Sarah, right? Is that right, Sarah?
yeah,
Mid-October?
October?
Yeah. So we'll have some more information coming out about that. But some of the first insights we can share about the things we've been working on. Um, we were one of the first to launch on the Google Vertex platform, which is essentially a way to create, take public model. It's a machine learning compute platform, and so that gives us the ability to either build our own models or build our own machine learning algorithms, or deploy public compute layer, and then we layer that into different parts of our application. And so as the agentic commerce discussions have been ramping up, we've been increasing our capacity and capabilities with building on that Vertex platform to enable those agentic to agentic AI transactions. And so, what you're going to start to see in banking apps is less like scheduled bill pays and more agentic to agentic, where you're giving your agents permission to act on your behalf for certain types of transactions up to certain amounts. But that also comes with other capabilities like monitoring your transactions, monitoring the inflows, monitoring the outflows, robo wealth advisement, financial health advisement, just financial advisement in general. So all these capabilities are coming online and coming into be. And we're doing that and have been doing that with Google as one of our main partners. And so that's really been exciting here. And that's the root of that announcement and what that's centered around.
Awesome. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that, we do share with the community, but also that we maybe haven't, around being the first or making some traction. So we'll try to like level some of those things up. But if you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them into the chat, and we can also get to them there. Justin is maybe back. I don't want to skip over you. And Anthony just, maybe not. Hold on, Justin, let's try this. How about that? Does that help you? No. No. All right. Well, we'll circle back. There's some exciting things happening with recovery as well. I know that there's a couple of things Justin and Anthony might want to share, but we'll leave that for later on once you guys are back on.
Well, I think Justin's on.
Yeah, but I think I'm trying to see. It might be he's muted. I can't hear
Yeah,
him.
I think he's getting an echo whenever you talk or whenever somebody else talks. So maybe when Justin talks, we need to all listen is what that means. When Justin talks, everybody needs to listen.
And John, you've gone
Yeah, John, you're sideways.
you've gone horizontal, not vertical.
Yeah, it's nap time for John.
Uh,
He's
well,
Oh, so yeah, we have some questions coming
there it
through
is.
about Google. So John, with Google, we are actually partnered with Google. And did you see that question, John? Are we partnered with Google, or are we just using the platform?
yeah, that's such a I've seen that question online.
Oh, John's frozen. I mean, oh, there you go, John. Can you answer that again?
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
John's not back though.
There we go. So he's probably going to jump back on. We are actually partnered with Google. I mean, I think a lot of you guys have seen we were at Google Next. We're definitely partnered with them. But we're also, oh, here, John's back. Okay, John, there you go. So John, I was just saying we are partnered with Google, but do you want to elaborate? No, he can't hear us. We'll come
Can you
back to
hear me,
that.
Sarah?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got Justin, so we'll get back to that question. But Justin, yeah, if you want to reintroduce yourself to the community.
Got it. So Justin Hansan joined BankSocial back in June and came from the Secret Service. Am I getting the echo? Is everyone getting the echo? No, you guys aren't.
Mm-mm.
All right. So anyway, joined BankSocial back in June. Came from the Secret Service. 25 years. My last 8 years, I worked the financial crimes unit. And I was a supervisor there, and just trying to help as many victims as we can who are financial fraud or cryptocurrency. And glad to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. And yeah, I kind of mentioned earlier we'll have maybe today, but definitely soon. There's some exciting updates coming from the recovery team. John, can you hear us?
All right, I'm back. Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, perfect.
So if you want to,
yeah, I always think that's a funny question when we tell people we're partnered with Google and pay them for, tools and then say you're partnered, for lack of a better euphemism, no shit. It's like but whatever. Yeah, we are partnered with Google in many ways. We were even looking for a period of time at utilizing their ledger, the new universal ledger that they have. We're still talking with them about some opportunities there, but mostly been partnered deeply on the Google Cloud side. As early as I believe it was probably this time last year is when we first engaged with Google as a council member with Rich Widman. We started doing some cool stuff behind the scenes with Rich Widman. And then, as you guys saw, we were invited to speak on some of the AI stuff we were doing. I mean, all that's public information. So you can go out, you can see it. I think the actual talk was out there as well. And we talked a lot about how we are leveraging the Vertex platform, how we are leveraging a lot of the machine learning and AI that Google has as its base platform in Google Cloud. But again, not just as somebody who pays Google for services through an online portal, but as a deeper partner, really pushing the limits of how shared compute, how shared resource compute, because we also deploy virtualized compute instances for credit unions. So think virtual desktops, virtual infrastructure, and that's really where our partnership with Google started, was in identifying opportunities in financial institutions. They had a really big interest and a really big goal of pushing into credit unions and pushing into financial institutions. It's just historically a place where Windows, Microsoft had a bigger edge, and so we worked with Google to do that. We deployed successfully the first ever Google Cloud native 100% VDI infrastructure platform, and that took all sides. That took Google, it took us, and it took another third party as a middleware. And so, but we were the first to do that ever in the credit union space. We migrated that credit union off of some legacy hardware and legacy vendor support systems to do that. So that's where we started. We got into some deeper relationships with them around April. That's when we went to the event, and you'll see some more some more information, and I think we even have some really cool marketing collateral coming out that Google is doing for us, and that should be out here in the next probably 15 to 30 days. But yeah, I always thought that was a funny question, that we make an announcement about all this cool stuff, we go talk at there, we get invited to talk, and people are asking us if we just pay for Google Cloud services. No. We do pay for Google Cloud services, but that's not the partnership we're talking about. This is a much deeper partnership with Google, and Google's going to be doing some announcements alongside us here in the next probably 15, 30 days. You know, they're a big institution, and so they have a you know, they can't move as fast as we can with our with our 30 people and the nimbleness that we can move with. So yeah, that's a really exciting update. And that goes to, we were also, I mean, we started working with Google back, I can't remember when, I want to say it was around the time of Consensus in 2024, when we launched the first ever end-to-end virtualized platform, containerized platform for real-time payments. So back in 2024, when we were the first third-party service provider for the clearinghouse, we were also the first virtualized, containerized, end-to-end on Google third-party service provider for RTP, the real-time payments network for the clearinghouse, and we launched that in May of 2024. That was a smashing success because we were able to get the cost because of that Google infrastructure and the way we completely virtualized it. We virtualized it end to end. So even when the Fed, it wasn't the Fed, the clearinghouse was questioning if we could virtualize network infrastructure, like things like routers, things like um, VPNs. Typically everybody's been using hardware VPNs. We were able to completely virtualize with Google as our partner. We were able to completely virtualize end to end, not just the compute layer, the containerization and the compute layer, but also the network endpoint. So all the VPNs, all the routers, and really every component of the RTP network as a third party service provider. We were the first to launch it. And so that made
Well, John might have frozen. John's given us a
big
new.
headway. Google was. Can you hear me at least? Is that better? My back.
You just went in and out for a second.
Well,
You are back though,
yeah. So
John.
Google was a part.
We're loving the side. Do you know you're a side view, right? Did you notice that?
Yeah, you're like side.
I wonder if he's seeing himself.
They're horizontal, not vertical.
You're in
He's
portrait.
off. Come back on.
But he'll be able to expand on that. Kevin just asked if we can get a Google to make an actual announcement. So Google what we'll do for some of the people that are asking about this, we'll level back up some of the previous Google announcements that we've done, so you guys see them. And then we just spoke with Google like yesterday. We talked to them quite a bit, and there's a video from the conference that we'll be able to share soon. I think that might be helpful for people to kind of dig in deeper on the work there. But it's out there, but we'll make sure to level that back up so you guys can hopefully like it, share it, And then when John jumps back on, we'll kind of dig back in. Becky's on. So Becky, if you want to say hi and kind of just, shout out to the community real quick.
Live long and prosper. Just, where in the world is Becky? Getting out there, spreading the word. Stablecoin, tokenized deposits are a really big topic right now with financial institutions as they're going into their planning sessions for 2026. And so we've been invited to be in a lot of those conversations. So it's a fun time.
Yeah. Becky, you've been everywhere, just like popping up all over the US. And again, CLN, which some people might know about, which you're just the stable coins and tokenized deposits. That's been a really big and hot topic as well. So I don't know if you want to expand or give like a tiny teaser about it.
Well, it's just look, blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology is just a database, right? And so the transactions on chain are like kind of like a receipt. And because of the transparency, the immutability, the distributed aspect of a DLT, I think it's a perfect use case for a network of financial institutions that can take advantage of interoperability, as well as some of the fraud mitigation that can happen on chain that just doesn't work as well, or sometimes at all, in the siloed systems that we have today. So we're really moving toward a time when regulated financial institutions are taking a serious look at using this technology as a payment rail. So very exciting times.
Yeah. No, that's super cool. And we have, I know John will probably jump back on it a little bit so he can continue, but with some of the here's John. With some of the questions that are coming through, just so you guys know, we will get to them in just 1 second. John, can you hear us?
He's not sideways anymore.
Change location. Okay, John, do you want to finish? I know we cut you off by accident. We lost you mid-sentence. Oh, he may not be able to hear us. Okay, perfect. So really quickly, John is...
Oh, he can hear now?
Yes.
No? Oh, can you talk? Oh, we can't hear you though.
Let's see. You on mute, John?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, cool. So, John, do you want to finish up what you were mentioning when you were expanding on Google?
Not really.
Okay. So kind of going through, so we talked a little bit about the Google AI. So there's a lot of exciting updates that are coming. So I know we're going to jump into that, but somebody did ask about carbon cards. So that is something that I know we've had quite a few signups. So those are going to be going out soon. Are there any updates that we want to give on carbon card now? Or
Yeah, I think several have gone out already, haven't they? People already have some of those in their hands.
yes,
We're
but we
just
have
doing some
another.
worldwide testing on it.
Yep, but we have another round that's going to be going out soon as well, which are from the signups within the app. Oh yeah, John, you might be freezing. Yeah. So carbon card stocks are a very big one that are coming up, and I know we have Donald on the call as well. That's what I was mentioning. Donald, you've been a really integral part on that. Is there any like alpha or anything cool we can drop around stocks?
Well, I can jump in on that one. I think I can mention from a stocks perspective. There's the strategy both on delivering this direct to consumers through the apps, but also to the credit unions as a way to retain and look at deposits that potentially are leaving to other sources. We did complete our internal beta test this week and pilot, so that I would expect, the rollout of stocks within the next, 2 to 3 weeks more broadly. But we have completed again our internal pilot testing and beta work.
I know, right? It's like do a dance. That's huge, by the way, for people that don't realize. Very, very few are able to do something like that. So that's a huge testament to the team and the work that's being done here. So that's very exciting.
The other thing I'll mention with stocks is that we are looking at our licenses as well. Today we're in 22 states, and one of the things that we want to do is to be in all 50 states. So we're looking at some technologies and some partnerships that align more broadly with our strategy so that this can be deployed nationwide as opposed to a more limited reach. So you should be seeing, more information on that shortly as well.
Awesome. Okay. And based on kind of your background, Donald, because you have like a wealth of experience and you've worked in the space before, this is really exciting, right? To bring this to kind of a B2C, to a general market audience, having this type of access alongside their stocks, I mean, their crypto wallet. Is that something that,
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest from a there's a real evolving issue with changes in regulatory policy in the Genius Act in terms of how credit unions compete with large financial institutions that have massive capital plans. So, for example, the Northern Trust Company, where I spent 25 years, would have a banking capital plan of, $50 million worth investing in online capabilities and technology. And I think there's, the issue of, how do credit unions compete with large financial institutions with massive capital plans, and who do they work with as technology enablers to help them do that? And our strategy of combining stocks with digital assets as a way to, first of all, retain deposits, then ultimately fund loans, is one that creates competitive advantage for us in the industry, and I'm not aware of any other fintech, who is following a similar strategy and can act as an enabler to credit unions along with the work that's happening with stablecoins and other issues, other capabilities using DLTs and looking at back office operations and how to reduce costs to compete. So there's a lot of things that are going to happen in the fourth quarter and happen quickly, but 2026 should be an exciting year as well.
whoa,
Maybe that was more than you wanted to hear.
no, that was good. Um, yeah, so I know that's going to be pretty exciting. That's coming up soon. Gary just asked a question. I responded in there, but Gary, he's referring to offerings as a whole, but it is true as far as being in all the states for crypto. Um, John, are you back? Did you want to? Oh, you are. Okay. Cool. So we had the questions about the carbon card, and then as it relates to the DAO. There have been some questions that have come up over the past couple of weeks about the BSL token, and just kind of circling back to some of the value around that. It could be cool to expand on it because it'll be here within the video and just kind of remind people or people that have come in for the first time around the value with the BSL token and the DAO. Does anybody want to kind of do a quick refresher or jump in on that?
Yeah, I think there's am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a ton of information out there on that. I think using these very short informational periods to regurgitate the same information is probably not a good use of the time here. But what we can say is that look at the website, look at the information on the website, go out there, search BSL token. You'll get all the information you need. What I can share is that we just got off of a BSL delegate governance board meeting yesterday and discussed some modifications to be made to the website that starts to outline some more details that have maybe been shared in various forms over the years that might just look better in one spot on the website. And so I know that there's a concerted effort by the DAO right now to pull that together. Several of the delegates are working on that right now. And then we'll be working with them to get that updated on the website as soon as that's ready. So I think generally the answer is more consolidation of information is coming. Tons of information already out there for years on the DAO and the capabilities of the DAO. And I would just encourage anybody who's looking at the DAO to go check that information out. And then, get into the verified Telegram chat. There's so much community discussion. There's so much community information to lean on. There's the governance site. There's the voting site. So a quick search will get you a lot of that information. But getting in the verified chat is probably the most valuable way to catch up on maybe things you missed or questions you have or gaps in understanding. And probably the most relevant place to go look is the website on the community token page. And I know that's something we're working on all the time and have a big concerted effort right now to revamp and consolidate that information into the token page on the website.
Perfect. Yeah. And we'll make sure to bring some of that back up on social as well for some people that might be seeing the BSL token for the first time. All right. So now that we kind of have everybody on here, do you guys want to talk about, we made a post that I think was really cool, and it's an interesting time to bring back up about the White House executive order around payments and some of the work that we are doing, but also that we haven't had in place. So when the regulation was there, we were ready to go. And I know there's been some traction there. Becky, John, do you guys want to talk about the work that we've been doing with the Fed and how we've already been moving on those rails?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing that we did in 2020, TP set the stage for a lot of that by getting integrated with, that was pre-Fed Now. So Fed Now didn't come out until earlier this year. So with RTP, set the stage for money movement, core money movement, really enabling that the agentic layer being the first company that allowed you to receive a payment, a real-time payment, and then immediately be able to use that for stocks and crypto right inside the app, being the first company to do that, and now being the first to allow somebody to receive a treasury payment from the government. Now that the government is modernizing payment infrastructure, receive a treasury payment right into your digital banking app, right into your self-custody wallet that can be immediately converted into whatever asset you want, whether you want to put that in a high yield savings account, high yield checking account, whether you want that to go into stocks, whether you want that to go into crypto, you want to automate that. Being the first provider that allows for that entire infrastructure to be leveraged by consumers and the banks that those consumers are a part of is really what we're. It's really a really cool milestone to be the first leader in doing, and the first leader that's actually got banks live on it.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I'll mention, Sarah, and I actually told John and Becky I'd get on, but I hesitate to speak. But, one of the things that we are considering that seems to have some traction and perhaps some excitement from the community is a US dollar denominated FDIC insured account as part of the app, where individuals could do direct deposit of their paycheck, where they could do bill payment, but a traditional, call it checking and or savings account that is FDIC insured and private labeled from a bank that gives people insurance, which, I'm not aware of any other crypto, any other digital asset firm that offers that service as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you were frozen. Becky, I thought you were frozen for a second. I didn't know if you wanted to
Might have been.
expand a little bit, because one of the things that I feel like that's not so much, there's like a lot of hype that's kind of out there that we see, or things that maybe are being spoken about but are not backed up with the actual traction. And even though we work with like a lot of credit unions and community banks, we can't necessarily, you know, list them all out, but it is exciting to share with the community, I think, on like a high level, how this is already like happening in the real world, and it's already live with a lot of institutions.
I think that it's important to note that the BankSocial app has a lot of applicability to use from a consumer first perspective. And a lot of the things that we are doing from a retail perspective also translate to the app that folks can use without necessarily even having a bank account. You know, I think that providing access to people everywhere to be able to utilize these tools is something that's a core tenet of what we believe in. So, and it looks like John's moving around from place to place.
All right, I want to make sure before we jump to questions, make sure we covered everything. Is there anything that we kind of, any announcements or anything the team wanted to share from our end? John, is there anything else we can touch on?
Outside of the major announcements that we just made, no, I think for right now, we'll keep a lot of the rest of it under wraps, and you know, we'll continue to make groundbreaking and earth-shaking announcements as first in the industry to do so as we can. And you know, we won't stop innovating. We won't stop you know, building the tools that Americans and people around the world need. We've got some very exciting pilots that are coming online with even more larger and larger and larger financial institutions. And so it's very exciting right now, being the leader in the space and having the, you know, kind of the eyes and ears of, I think one thing we can say, Becky, this morning, didn't we get our official SEC written approval for our robo advisory and our stocks platform?
We did.
Oh, well, there you go. Look
Yes,
at
we did.
that. So I think we're one of the first crypto native companies that started as a crypto native company that has gotten SEC approval for robo advisory as an RIA, as a robo advisor RIA, to allow people to utilize our, what we're going to be releasing is our AI advisory tool that will help with stocks and crypto. But that's a really exciting announcement that I don't think any other crypto native companies have the pleasure of being able to make an announcement about. So we'll have some more official announcements coming out, but officially you heard it here today. Live alpha. We got approved earlier this morning. Our final review came through, or the kind of official review. I think there's still some details that need to be crossed and dotted, but from the official SEC side, we got our official approval today. So that's a really exciting milestone, being the first crypto company that's a crypto native company that started in the crypto space as a self custody solution that still operates in a majority self-custody way to start to bridge into the traditional asset space, and start to bridge those gaps of tokenized assets, traditional assets, and do them in a way that has always been as regulatory compliant as was clear. Certainly some gray areas there for a while, but I think now we're starting to see a lot of the clarity, a lot of the you know, official guidance coming out from the regulators that helps drive more institutional adoption, which helps free up a lot of the liquidity that's been going to a lot of custodians, custodial exchanges, custodial asset exchanges, digital custodians, really starting to put that power back into the hands of the people, where we reduce the intermediaries, reduce the complexities of that money movement, just like what we're talking about with the treasury piece, where money can go directly from the treasury directly through our FedNow rails that connects the core to the treasury and directly to your self-custody wallet if that's what you choose to do with it. And by helping those credit unions and those community banks and owning those rails and being able to deploy those rails without needing 10 or 15 intermediaries, you're not just reducing the cost, but you're reducing the complexity and the risk of money movement. And so I think there's no bigger announcements that could be made than the announcements we're making today, but certainly there's more to come.
Awesome. And then, really quickly, for Secure Tag, just so the community, anybody that has not received theirs, you just keep an eye out for an email that will be coming through later today, just to make sure that you are claiming your tags.
We have sent out all tag claims, right? 100%, Sarah?
We have, but I'm sending a reminder email just in
Yep.
case you haven't claimed
So
it.
the message is that was a little confusing. The message is everybody who bought a tag should have received their claim weeks ago. So if you haven't received your claim, it's not because you haven't been sent it. It's because maybe it went to spam. Maybe we had the wrong email address. So reach out immediately. We're going to send out another email today, but reach out immediately because there are no more outstanding claims. There haven't been for, I think, maybe a month or so, right, Sarah?
Yeah,
Going on a
definitely.
month. Yeah.
Everybody,
So just to provide clarity, there are no more emails. There's no more coming soons. It's been out we've been sending out claims for months, but the last claims went out about a month ago. If you have not received it, please reach out and claim your tags because those are available for everybody now.
yes. Perfect. Okay. So, yeah, I think unless there are any questions, I'm trying to see if any new questions come through. Somebody did ask about in-app purchase worldwide. That's coming. South America for sure is,
We're about to roll out. So I think we announced a few weeks ago that we'll be in all 49 states. We're shooting for, sometime in October. That could slip slightly, but that's our current goal and our current timeline that we're shooting for. So, the best way to know about this stuff, of course, join us here on the spaces, but also download the app. And we send this in the app. So that's up-to-date information is by having the app, holding the app, and being engaged with the app. Sign up, get verified.
yes. Okay. I don't see anything new coming in. Okay, cool. Any closing thoughts from the team before we jump off? Everybody good? I'm like,
Okay.
What else can we say? I mean, all been
it's an
said.
exciting week. There's a lot of exciting things happening, but I'm just trying to leave it open. Also, anybody that wants to send through questions that we don't answer on here, make sure you join the verified chat because almost anything you need to get answered, we're pretty active in there, so we'll be able to get answers to you. Or you can leave them in the comments and we'll try to get to them on the next live next week. Cool. All right. Well, have a great week. Thank you guys for joining.
Thanks, Sarah.
Bye, team.
Thanks, everyone.